The Artemis Fund invests in highly scalable, tech-enabled, female-founded companies. So the Artemis Fund is a venture capital fund, which means we pool investors' investments and deploy them into early-stage technology-enabled companies. We look at a variety of verticals, but really we are interested in fintech, life tech, and sustainability. Companies that help us live, work, and make money in a more sustainable way. We launched officially in April 2019. Since then, we've raised over $10 million. There's definitely been a huge growth in the just understanding and data around the type of founders that we back. It's challenging for women to find funding for their startups. They receive 2.2 to 2.8% of the fundraising dollars that go out nationally. So of the $130 billion that went to tech startups, only about 2% went to female founders. So I don't think it's hard to start a business as a woman. I think it's really hard to grow a business as a woman. So typically we get asked this question all the time, don't women just start hair salons and beauty shops? And the case is no. While they do create small businesses, they also do create venture-backable, highly scalable businesses. They just haven't received the funding that they need to become unicorns and to reach the growth stages. And so that's what we're trying to solve. There's probably two goals. One is to create more wealthy women from these companies that will then fund the next generation of women. And for us, it's really getting companies out into the world that we want to see. It's really important to us that our female founders are solving a very big problem for a broader community and provide access and empowerment on the topics of change that we want to see. Our funding lets them hire more people, grow their businesses, and reach their next milestones in order to keep on taking funding. But really, it's about growth for them. Women control 85% of all consumer and healthcare purchasing decisions, 2/3 of all personal wealth in the United States, and that consumer has just simply been overlooked. So we are looking for solutions that help empower that consumer to take care of their families and community in a better way, a more healthy way, and to also empower them to stay in the workforce and build a better life for their children. Many women are stuck in this sort of sandwich generation where they're taking care of both their children and their aging parents. So I think once that burden of care is equitably shared, or this tech to help solve those problems, then I think it'll be much easier for female founders to grow big businesses. Something that we look for in founders, and that again we tell them is to always be tenacious and never take no for an answer, because founders often hear no. Don't fall in love with the solution, really fall in love with the problem that you're trying to solve for your consumer. Get to know that consumer in and out. Take their business as far as they can before they take in funding, so that they can really control as much of it as they can. Look for the quickest path to revenue, and then grow that revenue. Really look into the metrics in terms of the lifetime value of that customer, the cost that it takes to acquire that customer, and then finally, team. I think the most important thing that we invest in at Artemis is the team, and so getting that right at the early stages is so important. Don't be afraid to let go of people who just aren't right for the team. I would tell young women who want to make a place for themselves in the business world to, actually step in. I find a lot of women shy away from starting businesses or being independent, but I think I would tell them to actually, raise their hand and step into it. Take a risk on yourself. When I first decided to start the fund, so many people said, oh, you're too young or you don't have enough experience in this space. But I really believed that I did, and I saw my peers building something that I felt like I could do and actually do better. Don't doubt yourself. Keep going. Perseverance is incredibly important. I think you're going to be told no 1,000 times, but it just takes one yes. The fact that Houston is welcoming and inclusive definitely translates into the startup ecosystem. I would say the growth over the last 5 years is because of that fact. It's an incredible collaboration between startup development organizations, the investors that are here, and the universities. So if you're looking for some type of expertise or talent or investor, the community really welcomes you in and helps build those connections. I see a lot more companies getting funded. I think there'll be more funds getting started. The ecosystem is definitely developing and growing, and it's becoming a lot more diverse. We really love working with the Greater Houston Partnership and everything they're doing to bring venture capital and startups down to Houston, and really diversify the city into this thriving ecosystem. I expect the next 5 years to be an explosive growth for Houston. I think given the fact that there's been some migration away from the coast and the virtual environment, the cost of living here is incredibly sustainable. I also think we'll see huge transitions in very large industries, which are oil and gas and healthcare, come out of Houston.